The Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council has said the 20% increment in transport fares, which is set to take effect on Saturday, September 14, is unreasonable and will be reviewed downwards.
Considering around 5%, 10%, but where it gets to the point of around 20 and above, I think discretionarily we have to sit around the table again and look at what to do for them.
Meanwhile, drivers have already started charging the 20% fares.
This is the change this morning. I didn't really understand it, but they told me it's a policy. It just came out this morning, so I decided not to battle about it. But I think it's ridiculous.
This is today's big story. My name is Stephen Anti, and thanks for joining us here on today's big story. Now, the Road Transport Coordinating Council on Tuesday took a decision to increase transport fares by an average of 20%. The discussions have been ongoing since the fuel price hikes in July. General Secretary of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, Alhaji Aliyu Baba, told Joy News right after the last increase in petroleum products, the council sought the services of a consultant and came out with a new model of increasing lorry fares. A proposal was therefore forwarded to the Transport Ministry for study, but its implementation was suspended due to the Supreme Court hearing. He is, however, not happy with a 20% increment.
Frankly speaking, the fares we proposed or we computed was based on the new models we had developed by our consultants. And when this was submitted to the Ministry of Transport, because it's a new concept altogether, we need to give them time to study the proposals, of which time we will have to meet for final approval. We were considering around 5%, 10%. But where it gets to the point of around 20 and above, I think discretionarily we have to sit around the table again and look at what to do for them. That one I can assure you there will be some positive action on that, taken on that.
Well, interestingly, the increase is already taking effect. Drivers today decided to implement the 20% increment.
This is the change this morning. I didn't really understand it, but they told me it's a policy. It just came out this morning, so I decided not to battle about it. But I think it's ridiculous. Trust me, because for some time now the petrol went up. They didn't make so much noise about fare increase. Only for us to know this morning that they've increased the fare. So like this morning, I'm going to work. I've already paid like 11,000 from Dansoman to this place, and I'm going to pay 80% from here to Osu. It's bad.
I think basically it's the arithmetic problem which is causing the thing. I understand the fares to be increased by 20%, and where I've been going, I've been paying 60 pesos, and 20% of 60 pesos should be about 12 pesos. But they are adding 20 pesos. So instead of 72 pesos, they are charging 80 pesos. So I think it's an arithmetic error.
When circular was going around, they were giving some papers to the drivers that the fares will now be from Circle to Jowood, where I worked, will now be increased from 70 pesos to 90 pesos, which I think is going to cause a lot of problems, financial loss to our pockets.
An interview with one of the transport coordinators at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle here in Accra indicates that the instructions to start charging the fares came from their bosses.
Yeah, yesterday we We had an affirmation that the GPI have met with the government, the other side of the distance divided, and we have agreed on an increase, an increase that is 20% increment on our fare, 100% increment on the income tax. The insurance shoot up, the road ready to shoot up, and then apart from that too, the spare parts. It has doubled. If not, we were then collecting 6.5 to what they call it. What's the place? American Embassy. We were collecting 6.5. So when we calculate the 20%, it will boil down to 80.
Well, let's get onto the phone lines now and speak to our Central Regional Correspondent, Richard Kojo-Nyako, to gauge the mood and takrady over these fares. Richard, it's great to have you on today's big story.
Thank you very much, Steve.
So these fares, they're biting in Cape Coast as well, right?
They've not started yet in Cape Coast. They've only heard the news, and passengers have expressed surprise about the fares that have gone up. They said that it's been a very long time since the petrol prices were increased, and so this thing has come to them as a great surprise, and so they do not know how to even take it. But for them, none of the taxi drivers or the trotro drivers have time. Some of them with the new fares. I've got a couple of them here. I would want to speak with them. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Have you boarded a vehicle today?
Yes, please. I did one, I think, this afternoon. What happened in respect to what? No, I paid the old one, the old fare. It seems the driver is not aware.
Are you surprised by the turn of events?
Yeah, because it's been a long time since the fuel prices went up. So I don't understand why everything has normalized and now they are asking us to pay a new price of 20% increment.
Okay, well, so this passenger is expressing some kind of surprise. I've got another person here. Good evening.
Good evening.
Have you heard of the new fare?
Yeah, I heard it this afternoon. But when I bought the car, they charged me the old fare. Yeah, I took the car taxi from Abra to Cape Coast Town. It was 70 pesos.
You have not experienced any...
No. There's no increase. They are just charging the old fare. So I don't know. Yeah, yes. Truly, I'm surprised because I don't know why they've increased the price now. So we don't know. In fact, I'm really surprised. I don't know.
This person has also expressed surprise about the new fares that are going to go up on Saturday.
Right. So, Richard, I don't know about transportation moving from one end of the city to the other. Now, typically, how much do passengers have to pay when they make journeys from one part of the city to the other?
Well, from when someone boards a vehicle from Science, the University of Cape Coast Science Station to Kotokraba Market, they pay 90 pesos, and it remains like that. From Abra to Kotokraba, it is 70 pesos. They pay like that. From Cape Coast to Elmina, they pay 1 cedi 20 pesos, and it's also like that. And so they have not increased it. It is like that, and they are going to see how the prices will move up to the time or Saturday when the new fares are implemented.
Right. So what impression do you get from the drivers themselves? I'm not sure whether you've engaged any of them, but in anticipation of these increases, what are they telling you?
Well, the drivers are happy. I spoke with a couple of them. They are happy. At least they told me that their monies, the amount of money they will get during the day will increase because something more is going to be added to what they already will be charging. And so it's a good news to them. But for the passengers, it's really something of a surprise to them.
Right, Richard Kojo-Nyako is our Central Regional Correspondent there, bringing us up to speed with the mood in Cape Coast ahead of the announcement that lorry fares will be going up by 20%. Now, for instance, when you're traveling from Circle to Kanishi, which used to be 50 pesos. It is now going for 60 pesos. Other areas from Circle are as follows. If you're going to Odoko, 60 pesos. Now it is 90 pesos. If you are going to Awoshi, it is 1 Ghana cedis 20 pesos. But now you have to pay 1 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. And then Dansuman usually costs 90 pesos. It's going to cost 1 Ghana cedis 10 pesos. Malam will cost 90 pesos usually, but when the new first kicking is going to cost 1 Ghana cedis 10 pesos. Santa Maria used to be 90 pesos. It's going to be 1 Ghana cedis 10 pesos. Most drivers Joy News spoke to were excited about the increment, while passengers were obviously dissatisfied with the new fares. We'll take a break right now. We'll be right back. Welcome back to today's big story. My name is Stephen Anti, and we're discussing the 20% increment in transport fares, which are expected to take effect on Saturday, September 14. I'm now joined on the line by GPRTU Chairman Alhaji Yaumenu. Good evening, sir, and thanks for your time. Now, are you aware that new fares are to kick in starting September 14, Saturday? Alhaji, if you can hear me, I'm asking if you're aware of these new lorry fares that are to take effect from Saturday. Well, I think we're struggling getting Alhaji Yaumenu, chairman of the GPRTU, to speak with us about whether he is aware or not of the new lorry fares that are expected to kick in. And if you've just joined us, this is today's big story, and we're discussing the decision to increase lorry fares by 20%, of which the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council says that the fares are unreasonable and they will be reviewing them upwards. We've also checked from our correspondents from the central region, where he says people are not happy about it. Although the fares have not been increased, they are all sadly looking forward to Saturday when the new fares will be charged, and they're complaining about it. The Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council says that the fares are unreasonable. I'm told that we have the GPRTU chairman, Alhaji Yaumenu. Good evening, sir. I was asking earlier whether you are aware that 20% increment of lorry fares are to take effect from Saturday, September 14. Alhaji, can you hear me? Well, Alhaji Yaumenu, chairman of the GPRT, we're struggling to get a connection with him. Alhaji, yes, Alhaji, can you hear me? Well, Alhaji Yaumenu is chairman of the GPRT, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. We will try again, and this is today's big story. My name is Stephen Anti. We'll be right back. Well, on today's big story, the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council has set a 20% increment in transport fares, which is set to take effect on Saturday, September 14, is unreasonable and will be reviewed downwards. Meanwhile, the increase is already taking effect, and drivers today decided to implement the 20% increment.
The change this morning, I didn't really understand it, but they told me it's a policy. They just came out this morning, so I decided not to battle about it. But I think it's ridiculous. Trust me, because for some time now, the petrol went up. They didn't make so much noise about fare increase. Only for us to know this morning that they've increased the fare. So like this morning, I'm going to work. I've already paid like 11,000 from Dansoman to this place, and I'm going to pay 80% from here to Osu. It's bad.
I think basically it's the arithmetic problem which is causing the thing. I understand the fares to be increased by 20%, and where I've been going, I've been paying 60 pesos, and 20% of 60 pesos should be about 12 pesos. But they are adding 20 pesos. So instead of 72 pesos, they are charging 80 pesos. So I think it's an arithmetic error.
Circular was going on. They were giving some papers to the drivers that the fares will now be from Circle to Joel, where I worked, will now be increased from 70 pesos to 90 pesos, which I think is going to cause a lot of problems, financial loss to our pockets.
This is today's big story. My name is Stephen Anti, and in an interview with one of the transport coordinators at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle in Accra, it indicates that the instructions to start charging the fares came from their bosses.
Yeah, yesterday we had an information that the GPI too has met with the government. The other side of the distance divided, and we have agreed on an increase. An increase, that is 20% increment on our fare, 100% increment on the income tax. The insurance shoot up, the road ready to shoot up, and then apart from that too, the spare parts it has doubled. If not, we were then collecting 6.5 to what they call it. What's the place? American Embassy. We were collecting 6.5. So when we calculate the 20%, it will border into 80.
Well, this is today's big story, and if you've not heard, transport fares are expected to go up by 20% starting September 14, which is Saturday. And so, for instance, if you were traveling from Circle to Kaneshie, which usually would cost you 50 pesos, you're now expected to pay 60 pesos. And then if you're moving from Circle to, say, Odoko, where traditionally you would have paid 60%, you will now pay 90%. If you are going to Awoshi, where you usually pay 1 Ghana cedis 20 pesos, you are expected from Saturday to pay 1 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. And Dansoman, where you pay 90 pesos, you will be paying 1 Ghana cedis 10 pesos. Malam, which cost 90 pesos, is now going to cost 1 Ghana cedis 10 pesos, as well as Santa Maria costing 1 Ghana cedis 10 pesos. Originally, it was 90 pesos. We're now joined on the line by our Volta regional correspondent, Komla Addo, to gauge the mood there in the Volta region as well. Good evening, Komla, and thanks for joining us here on today's big story.
Good evening.
Komla, so you are in the heart of the Volta region. Tell us what people are saying about this announcement.
Yeah, people are quite shocked. It came as a surprise to a lot of people because it was unexpected. But checking, it seems as though it has not taken effect yet over here.
Right, so there are no complaints. I mean, you just mentioned that people are shocked, but beyond just shock, I mean, what are they complaining about? Is it too much, or they feel that it's fair and it needs to be readjusted? What exactly is causing the shock?
Obviously, they are outraged. People are saying it's already expensive, and then they'll have to bear with the fact that it's going to be increased again. And so it's a lot of outrage here.
Right. So, Komla, in the Volta region, particularly in Ho, when people are traveling, it's the most popular form of transportation possibly is the trotro, right?
No, it's a taxi. You hardly see trotros here,
Right.
especially in the regional capital. You see taxis a lot.
Right.
If it's a long journey, fine, that's a trotro. But if it's in the regional capital, it's taxi.
It's taxi. So
Yes.
typically, I mean, what are the fares from one end to the other? Either a short journey in a taxi or a long journey still in a taxi?
Yes, short journey for the very urban areas. For instance, Hopware or Aplawu, the urban areas, they pay 60 pesos for short and then 70 pesos for long. Sometimes 1 cedi for extraordinary cases. But you hardly see situations where you would have to pay exorbitant prices.
Right. So taxis are very highly patronized from what you're telling me.
I'm afraid I'm losing you. I can't really hear you well.
Right. I'm saying that. I'm asking whether from what you're saying, the suggestion is that taxis are very highly patronized in the Volta region.
I'm afraid it's very difficult hearing you at the moment.
Right. Komla, we're grateful for your time. Komla Ado is regional correspondent for the Volta region. And I'm also told that we have our Western regional correspondent, William Benjamin Peters, also on the line to give us a bird's eye view of what's happening in the Western region. So, Benjamin, it's great to have you here. Yes, welcome to today's big story. Tell me what's exactly happening on the ground with the announcement of the new lorry fares.
Thank you very much. Even though we've heard that some regions or some stations in other regions have increased their fares, but that is actually yet to take place in the Western region. This morning I've visited a number of places, even though some people have, it's a rumor going around, but really the truth is it is yet to take effect in the Western region. We are waiting for the day that the drivers will decide to increase the fares. But as I speak to you now, none of that sort is happening in the region.
Right. So I do know that, I mean, since the fuel price increments, lorry fares have not been increased. In your interaction with the drivers, did you get the impression that they've been anxiously waiting for this day to start charging new fares?
Increment in lorry fare is not something that passengers are enthused about, but it's like they have nothing doing about it. No matter what they do, it's now becoming a norm that they have to endure. So they are waiting for it, but to them, they think that the time is not inappropriate. They think if authorities can do something about it. But since it's beyond their reach, they are just waiting for what the outcome will be. That's what we are waiting for.
Right. Yeah, Benjamin, I was talking about the drivers, members of the GPRTU and other transport unions. What are they saying about this announcement? Obviously, they must be happy, right?
Yeah, now they are only advising drivers not to go beyond the given baseline to do their own thing. They should all wait till the right thing will come out at the right day. That is the advice they are giving to drivers. Some recalcitrant drivers will just take undue advantage of the situation and they will be doing their own thing. So, come on.
Right. So, great. So tell me, like I was asking Komla from the Volta region a while ago, what is the most popular mode of transportation in the Western region? Is it trotro or taxis?
The west routes in the region. Some of the drivers like traveling because most of the taxis charge exorbitant fares, and the people traveling with a trotro than the taxi.
Right. Thank you very much, Benjamin William Peters, our Western regional correspondent. We're still trying to reach the chairman of the GPRTU. Right. I'm told that we have on the line the General Secretary of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council. Good evening, and thanks for your time, sir. Good evening, and thanks for your time on today's big story, sir.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, so, 20%, you are not happy about this 20% and have said that you will review it downwards. Is it in your authority to review downwards or upwards?
Please, I want you to recap what you have just said. I beg.
Right. I'm saying that the news we're hearing is that the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council says that the 20% increment in transport fares, which is expected to kick in on September 14, is unreasonable, and you are saying that you will review it downwards. I'm asking you whether you are the one who has the authority to review it downwards or upwards.
Yeah, the issue has been that for our position now, based on the research, the market survey we did, and then the cost of, the data we have collected on the price of the component, the latest price on the component, that builds up fair calculation, has brought us this far, and with what some of the possibility of maybe future fuel increase, nearest future fuel increase, we will be looking at the 20% as very, very reasonable and justifiable for our drivers. And we don't want to believe that when this is accepted by the general public, from now up to December, there will be any other increase. You understand?
Yes. So, if I'm getting you right, you feel that the 20% is fair, is good.
It's fair, it's justifiable.
It's justifiable. But
yes.
So your justification is based on the fact that your market research and surveys suggest that averagely people can afford the extra 20%.
Yes. But what we are looking at, if you really want to base our calculation on fuel and base it on the aspect of the deregulation exercise the government and the MPA is doing, then eventually you will be expecting that every month the transport union organization or the operators may be deciding to do increases, which we believe it will not be fair and nice for the working public, including the traveling public. It will be an serious embarrassment. And some of these are the agitations we don't want to hear about. We have done this increase, and it is fair. We will be in the future increase, will not be now or until December. Even the December we are talking about, when we review the market prices and we know they are all right, they are deposited at the same point, we will either decide to increase fare or not. Because frankly speaking, we are considering the effect it will have on the workers. There's no increase in salaries. There will not be any, we will be seeing this budget and other deficits on the line. So we have been moderate, and we will continue to be moderate and fair with the general public and the workers.
Right. So what about drivers who have already started charging this 20%?
Yes, that is simple. We went on the air this morning, all the radio stations, and warned that they should stop. I think there was some wrong communication on the line. And we contacted the GPRS with the HR Secretariat. So the communication came from the regional secretariat based on the information they received. And based on that information, the fair supposed not to start today. So they have passed on the warning, and I'm hopeful the drivers are going to stop.
Well, thank you very much, Alhaji Alihu Baba, the chairman of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council. My name is Stephen Anti, and that's where we draw the curtains for today's big story. Marian Turi joins me next with Joy News Interactive. Stay with us.